There always comes a time in the life of every true seeker where you see beyond lies and illusions of life, beyond that which the world has made you to think, the world has made you to hear, and made you to see. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, forms the basics of your thoughts, especially the primary basics of your thoughts. And there always comes a time in the life of those who are truly seekers in this world, the elect, those who are not restrained within the chains of illusions. Religious people call them chosen people. In any sense that word might mean, I'm not using the word in reference to what religious chooses to call this kind of people. This set of breed, I will call them the light bearers. They always sees things beyond the illusion. So it's not by choice anyway. It's something born. There always comes a time in the life of these light bearers, these elects, that they breaks the veil of the illusion, because they are seekers. They want to know why and how. There is always a time in the life of any individual who identifies within this scale that they break through the veils of illusion to see life for what it is, and reality also for what it is. You might be experiencing some discomfort, not by choice. Discomfort in beliefs in religion, discomfort in beliefs in the construct of society. You are not mad. You are not a psychopath. You are not hallucinating. You are only responding to an inward shift in your consciousness. You are responding to an inward home call to look within yourself, because you've been conditioned, we were conditioned to always look outside ourselves in search of answers to our questions, in search of solution to our problems. We have always been taught to look outward. So this very process of inward introspection is a remarkable experience that any light bearer, any elect will experience. Most people experience this out of ignorance. They are called lunatics. They are called psychopaths. They are not. The reason why they are called lunatics or psychopaths are only because their experiences have no physical explanation, have no biological explanation, has no scientific explanation. It is utterly inward to the soul. It is divine within their being. So the world you live in lacks terms to define it. The world we live in lacks explanations to it. You are only awakening to a realization of who you are. That realization that You are one with the divine. The very same source you reference to as divine, as God, you are one with it. That is an experience that breaks your human understandings, limitations, and ushers you into this new phase and reality of what life is. Why am I making this video? Because I have gone through series of experiences that science has no interpretation of, religion has no answers to. Customs and traditions lacks definite words for it. It is beyond human ability to think or to answer. It is an inward awakening of a great magnitude that changes the perspective of life for me. How I see things, how I understand things, how I respond to things. This experience have shaped my life, that at the same time I died and resurrected. Not literally in what dying means to the physical world. Dying in myself, who I used to be, what I know, what I think, is an experience I lack the words to explain. I am not speaking from any external influence of maybe a book or maybe an advice or video or religious teachings. This is something within me I have experienced. I might not have all the words to explain it, but I know what it is. I now see life for what it is. I now see the world for the game it's playing. It might sound weird, but that is because that is the best way I can say. I have come to a point where I realize that what people think doesn't really matter. Because people will always be people running on programs. Like you have your cell phone. Your Samsung is Samsung because of the programs it's running on, owned by Samsung. That's why you call it Samsung Mobile. Your iPhone is called an iPhone because of same program. Same thing as your robot, same thing as your computer. Every single thing operates on a program. It's only a matter of choice on whichever program you want to run on. You can decide to switch from Samsung to iPhone or from iPhone to Infinite. Anyone you choose, that is your choice. But the truth remains, there is something happening in this world, in this very 21st century, that only few people are privy to know. And that is a universal shift in human consciousness. A shift from the facets of belief to the basics of knowing. Belief is good, but it's like a dopamine. It only keeps you stimulated, but it drains you. But in knowing, you accept wholly what it is that exists. It is not a question of God or religion or philosophy or science. These are products of human quests in order to explain various forms of experiences. For example, people will always cling to something that creates comfort, but will repress something that creates truth, that breaks their illusions. Because most times people are weak and fearful to really accept reality for what it is. So no matter who you are, no matter where you are, whatever program you've been running on, I just want to extend a hand of friendliness to let you know that a time is coming that every single thing you know will collapse. It will collapse because it is not real. It is like the egg of a hen. You see, the egg will only remain an egg until the chick matures in the egg. No matter how beautiful the egg is, the moment the chick in the egg matures, develops beak, develops its fingers, it will crack the very walls that shields it from reality. Most people have come to a level that because of their fear of reality, they choose to remain in the shell. And you know what happens to a chick when it's matured enough to break through the shell of the egg, but it refuses? What happens is that it dies. It dies a kind of death that is glorifying, a death that you would know is dead, but it will still maintain the beauty of the shell, but it's dead because it refused to break the veil. So most people who have chosen to break the veil will face the harsh realities of the truth. And the truth is, at the very verge, at the very end of your search for God, for truth, for answers, you will only find yourself. Not your lower self, but your higher self. A kind of self that words cannot explain. A self that is so rich in life force, so pure, so genuine, that you will never ever have thought was possible. You will realize the God essence, the fragments of divinity glowing within you. You will realize that you are one with the very divine that you seek. You will find therein within you tremendous life. A being that is so transcendental that you lack words to define what you have become. No matter how I speak it or how I explain it, you will not understand it, not till you experience it. There is something in you that is only waiting to be awakened. That, I tell you, is the solution to your questions, to your problems, the very end you seek. That is what you will find.